Hello students, let's do another gizmo. This gizmo is on Prisms, okay? So once you're logged on, you want to click on the Find Gizmos and you're going to type in Basic Prism, and this is the one that we're going to do. So we're going to click here and we'll launch the gizmo. And there we have it. So for this particular gizmo, there's a few things that we're going to do. Before we get to that though, as always, under the lesson info, you want to open up that vocabulary sheet so you know what the different vocabulary words are. And then we want to also open up the student exploration sheet. And this is the guide that takes you through the gizmo, and it's also a place to record your answers to the questions and any data that you gather from doing this gizmo. For this particular gizmo, we're only going to be doing activity A. So there's two activities, right? You can do the warm-up part over here, and then there's activity A. And then once you get to the end of activity A, you do not have to do activity B with Snell's law. That's not something that we'll discuss in our class. So how does this gizmo work? Good question. So there's a laser beam that's going through, and here is the prism. And then this just shows the path of the light as it goes from different media, right? From air into this medium, whatever it's made out of, and then back into the air. And so you can see it bends. This is called refraction. And what we can do is we can change this beam of light, so it's just a single color. And then you can change the color up here. Right now it's on 500. This is the wavelength, right? Remember, lambda is for wavelength, and nm is nanometers. Those are small. So a nanometer is a billionth of a meter. And then we can make it more blue, and we can also make it more towards the red end of the spectrum. And notice that the wavelength actually has an effect on how the refraction occurs. Now, in this case, it's just a single color of light that's going through, but another option that you have is to put white light. And recall that white light has all of the colors in the spectrum. And so when you choose that, it gets split. It actually gets split here and here. There's two places where there is some refraction. And on the second one, you can amplify that effect by increasing the distance, and you can see this rainbow-like pattern over here. So I'm just going to go back to the single color for now. You always have some options too. You can show a grid. So then if you wanted to plot any of that out, you can do that. And you can also show a protractor. And why would you do this? Because you can bring this over here and you can align it so that you have a normal line to measure the angle of that beam of light as it's going and impacting the surface and as it's going through. So you have some flexibility with how you can move that protractor around. Now, down here where it has the settings, let's just talk about these for a minute. This little n is called the index of refraction, and it basically is a number that tells us the type of material that's in here. And the higher that number is, if we go like this, the more that bend is going to be. And you can see I can influence how that light is refracted just by changing the material that's there. The W is for the width, so we can literally change the shape of the prism. We can make it wider or we can make it more narrow. And then over here, this is a Greek letter, a theta. This refers to the angle, and we can rotate the prism all the way around as well. One other thing that we can do too is we can take our laser and we can also drag that up and down like this. So there are a number of different variables that you can use to change the parameters of this refraction. And again, you can do it for a single color, or you can go back and you can do it for white light, and then you can split that white light into the different wavelengths, the different spectra of that white light. So that's it. That's how you use this gizmo. Good luck. Remember, only activity A. You don't have to do activity B for this one. And I will see you online. Let me know if you have any questions.